Hey there, internet friends. Trevor Starkey here with another episode of Trevor Trove Gaming. Since finishing Dishonored last week and ended up getting the platinum in that after I originally did my lethal playthrough, then I did a non-lethal playthrough, and then I did a cleanup playthrough. So after putting that aside, I have moved on to Lego Marvel's Superheroes 2. It's another in the long line of Lego games at this point. It kind of it uses characters and includes characters from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, iterations of those characters, but this, unlike Lego Marvel's Avengers from a couple years ago, is not a direct tie-in to the MCU. This is more of a follow-up from Lego Marvel Superheroes, the first game that came out around the generation switch. I remember it was one of the first things I played on the PS4. Or actually, maybe I played the PS3 version. I don't even remember. I played the PS3 version because I remember you could play the PS4 version at launch, but I'd already beaten it at that point. Anyway, it is, notable in that whereas the first Lego Marvel Superheroes had all the X-Men, this one does not, and so the X-Men have all been pulled out of the game and replaced by, all of the C and D list, half of the roster I've not heard of, basically. I was just going around because there was a trophy with Morbius, Triton, Living Mummy, and Cap Wolf. Have those four characters in your party and you pop a trophy, and Cap Wolf is a werewolf version of Captain America, but nobody else there I'd ever heard of. Morbius is a vampire. Triton's an Aquaman-esque kind of underwater creature, apparently an Inhuman, and that's this game incorporates Inhumans into key points in the storyline of the game. I've beaten through the game. Now I'm just going through. I'm around probably 55 to 60% completion, on the way to the kind of just going through the grindathon at this point for the platinum. It was a nice thing to kind of throw on mindlessly this weekend while I've been watching Parks and Rec, and while I watched the Elimination Chamber tonight on WWE. It's fun. I've had issues with the game has crashed 3 times on me, which sucks. That's annoying and frustrating. Usually because it's happened in the middle of a go around the map and collect 10 things from all over the map. The map is basically hey, it's called Chronopolis, and they've basically just thrown a whole bunch of areas together. So, Asgard is connected to Sakaar, is connected to Nueva York, is connected to old-timey New York, and then also just regular Manhattan. They've got, there's an Old West town in there. There's Kunlun, sorry. I don't remember. The Iron Fist place, it's basically an icy mountain. And so, yeah, they've just got, Wakanda's in there and stuff, but it's basically just, here's a little, snapshot image of all these places, and we've thrown them all into one hub world, and you just kind of go around there. So it's a giant mishmash of a game. The story didn't, it's a lackluster story, but it does bring the Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Inhumans together, all to face down Kang the Conqueror. Again, somebody I hadn't never heard of, but basically he controls time, I guess. Oh, there's also Egypt is in here for some reason. So yeah, weird little game. Of course, the kind of funny guys are all voiced in there. I've run across everybody but Kevin so far. You've got Greg playing Howard the Duck. I went through and unlocked his thing. Nick Scarpino's playing Spider-Ham. I went through his little side mission and unlocked him. Tim is playing Throg, which is the Thor frog, because that's a character. Also, Spider-Ham's a character. Anyway, so I did his little mission, and I think... I don't remember who Kevin's playing. I wanted to say it was the Tinkerer, but I've done a side mission where the Tinkerer's talking to me, and it didn't sound like Kevin. So I'll have to... Yeah, I'm not quite sure who Big Kev Dog is playing. I don't remember. I knew back around launch, but it's one of those things that has escaped my memory at this point. So yeah, I haven't run across him. I haven't like faced down against him or anything like that. But it's fun. Again, it's a Lego game. I prefer this kind where they do kind of take their own story instead of like throwing their story on top of like pre-existing movie audio and stuff. I appreciate that they didn't do that here. That it is its own story, and even though they don't have like notable voice actors really coming in for it, there are a couple little cameos here and there. It sounds like the Stan Lee audio is basically all just looped from the last couple Lego Marvel games he's been in, because I'm hearing like all of the exact same like lines that they've done in the past for him. So I imagine they didn't really bring him back into the studio. They probably just reused the audio from the past games. But yeah, it's a fun game. I'm enjoying it. I'll keep burning through it. It did take longer for me to like warm up to it. They've done some really like one of my favorite things they've added though is that they added a nice little quality of life thing where because you can only have like a couple characters and use, especially as you go through the overworld. They've made it so that when you like come up to like a thing that you need to like a switch that you need to toggle, and like Thor's the only one who can toggle it. When you go and change characters, they will have it defaulted to like the person who you need, as opposed to having to find them in the 250 plus characters throughout it. So that's really helpful and much appreciated. I don't know why they haven't been doing that for a while now. I imagine there's probably extra coding that had to go into it, but it's much appreciated that I don't have to be like, okay, who do I need for this power? Oh, it gives me the little icon, and if I hold the triangle button, it just like immediately defaults to them in the character select screen. So it's a small little thing, but really great. On the flip side, they've added a lot of like underwater level stuff in this, and there's like an underwater level part of this game that is really slow. Movement in this game just feels slower in general, but like that in particular, it's like, oh my god, I hate having to replay that level and do the free play stuff, those levels, and do the free play stuff, because like, oh god, it's why this like slow is not funner. Anyway, so highs and lows of the game, but overall it's just kind of another Lego Marvel game. Again, like super C and D list characters that they've pulled into the ranks here, but still fun, still a good enough time. I'm going through like medieval stuff right now, and running around with Black Knights who I don't even know who they are, but there are like at least 3 of them. So yeah, Marvel comics seem to be weird. They seem to be very weird in like the depth of characters that they have, but all fun. If you like the Lego games, I'm sure you'll like this one. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below, if you sat down and played it last year, back when it came out, or if you've caught up to it. As always, I've been your host, Trevor Starkey from TrevorTrove.com. You can follow me at SnarkyStarkey on Twitter. And until next time, from here at the Trove, treasure your friends.